fast forwarding a little bit. So my life is now a routine. I'm having to work from home because we're still adhering to COVID restrictions. I wasn't allowed in the office because of my weakened immune system from the chemotherapy, but I'd have chemo every 2 weeks. The Friday, I'd go in, have the chemo, go home with the pump. I put a picture of the pump on the Instagram, and then on Monday, a nurse would come out and disconnect the pump and then flush it, and then week goes by, repeat. So that's how it was. It was side effects are getting a little bit worse. Insomnia, but they gave me a tablet for that. Sickness, nausea, they gave me a tablet from that. My tongue was just indescribably painful, and that wasn't very pleasant at all. But again, they gave me medicine for that, and it did start to dissipate and go down. Niastan was the liquid one, and I also had a tablet for it as well, so that did start to go down. But eating, that's out the window. I don't want anything to eat, so I'm not eating again. So I'm starting to lose weight because the thought of food is just disgusting. And I don't know if anybody's ever had the pump, whether you felt this, but when the pump was disconnected, before the pump was disconnected, it would run out about halfway on Sunday and they disconnect it on the Monday. But when they disconnected it, it still felt like it was working. They were still trying to suck things up. It was a really weird feeling. So couldn't wait for that to be disconnected. And then when they disconnected it, they would flush it through with the saline stuff. Saline, disgusting. I've developed a real bad taste for that now. Whenever I think about saline, it makes me think of chemo. It makes me want to throw up. I can't stand that taste. It's not pleasant at all. So that was it. So I'm going to jump forward now to Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve, as I've alluded before, is a very big event in our house. It has been for many, many years. Christmas Eve, in some ways, I prefer that to Christmas Day. I love Christmas Day, obviously, presents, turkey, and all that jazz. But Christmas Eve is the build up to Christmas Day, and Christmas Eve we would all pick a Christmas movie each, and then we would watch that throughout the day, and we'd all have Santa sacks with all these treats and presents in it, little tiny presents and stuff, joke presents. We'd all have Christmas pajamas and quilts, and we'd order pizza to come, and then we'd have cheese boards at night. So Christmas Eve is a real enjoyable day. We all look forward to that one. So this first Christmas Eve, with me being diagnosed, Christmas Eve 2021, the plan was that the nurse was going to come round and she was going to flush my port and then take bloods out of it, PICC line, take bloods out of it, and then those bloods would be sent off to be tested, ready for chemo on my birthday, which was December the 27th. So she's going to be around at 9 o'clock. So yeah, we're normally up about 9 o'clock. So that's not too bad. She turned up at 10. So again, not too early, not too late. Sorry, but we'd always be up by this time anyway. But she turned up and she couldn't flush the port. A blockage had now formed in the port. Of course, it was going to be Christmas Eve that this happens. So she tried to push the plunger down, and it weren't having any of it. So she tried again and again and again, but nothing was working. So we only had one choice. We have to now go to the Royal, to the Osborne building, and see if we can get an expert with more medicines to see if they can do it. So off we pack and we go straight to the Royal, and the Royal is busy. We sit down, wait for about half an hour, 45 minutes. It felt like hours, but it was only about half an hour, 45 minutes. A nurse came out and she tried and she couldn't move it at all. It wasn't going anywhere. This was just not going to work. So she went away, came back about half an hour later and said, look, we've got a couple of options. We can put some Oracai into the mixture and hopefully that will unblock it, but it would take about 2 hours to kick in before we can test it. Or we can take bloods out your vein, send them off, and then hopefully when you come back on the 27th, we can then administer. We'll try and get the port to work, the PICC line to work. If it doesn't, then we'll put the Oracai in it so we can break it down that way. But at least that way you're not losing too much of your Christmas Eve. So we decided to go for that. So they took the bloods out my veins, and we get home about 12:30. Now I'm really upset by this because Christmas Eve, I didn't know whether this was my last one. And on my last potential Christmas Eve, the day that we all love, I just spent half of it in hospital, and it didn't feel the same anymore. That magic, okay, I'm 43, I'm a grown-ass man, magic. I don't mean magic that we've got spells and dancing books everywhere. I'm talking about that feeling you get on Christmas Eve where it's all exciting and the kids are excited and we're excited for tomorrow and we love these packs. That's all gone. That feeling's completely gone. Add to the fact that all the stuff that Belinda had packed in these Santa sacks, I couldn't eat any of it. I felt sick to my stomach. Just didn't want to touch any of it. So first Christmas Eve after diagnosis was, for me, I don't want to say the word ruined because it wasn't. We still had a nice day, but it wasn't the same. It was the first Christmas Eve that I felt rubbish. I wasn't looking forward to it anymore. That magic had gone. And it was like I was going through the motions of the day. I didn't want to eat anything. We had a cheese board at the end of the night. Didn't want to do that. When the kids went to bed, we still did the whole Santa thing where we go out and find all the presents that we've hidden and take them downstairs and put them under the tree. I'm scared to death to move because I'm scared of ripping my PICC line out. So I'm acting like some weak old geezer, not being able to move. It was everything about that day was just not Christmas Eve anymore. Added to the fact that deep down in my head, although I've always said that I'll fight this tooth and nail, you first one, you think to yourself, fuck, is this my last one? And this is how it's going to be remembered. Dad's gone to hospital. Dad's come back from hospital. We're all having a good time eating all the stuff, the nice stuff, and he can't eat anything. I just ruined Christmas for them. So it wasn't nice at all. So that's how it went, but that's how it is. And then we went from there. So my first Christmas Eve wasn't the best going forward. In the next video, I'll tell you about my birthday because, yeah, that was fun. A couple of days later, so I'll talk about that in a minute.